Warcraft is a film based on a video game, and that right there is a giant red flag, as we all know how well those usually turn out. Yes, some of them are good, but for every Mortal Kombat or Silent Hill, there's 3 movies like Double Dragon, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Super Mario Brothers, or, Blood Rain. With Warcraft, it seems that Hollywood still hasn't learned to make a video game adaptation well, or perhaps they just don't know which games to pick. Warcraft was a series of real-time strategy games that weren't exactly designed to have a strong narrative, which spun off into an online game that, by its very nature, also doesn't have a strong narrative, as it's based on role-playing and interactivity. But with so much lore, you think they'd be able to expand on it, maybe use their imaginations, work with the game developers, take what little plot Warcraft had, and flesh it out. Instead, they opted to just fill up the movie with everything, giving us a deluge of main characters, many of whom are indistinguishable, and a plot so fast-moving that it's almost like they're trying to distract the viewer from the fact that the movie has even more cliches than it has CGI characters. And by the way, that's not a knock on CGI. I'm just saying the movie has a lot of CGI characters and even more cliches. But the use of CGI is bizarre and uneven at best. For example, all the orcs are CGI, right? Well, only the male orcs are, because they're hulking brutes. The female orcs are regular female actors with makeup and prosthetics. It's ridiculous that the male orcs look like a completely different species and the women look like cosplayers. The plot has to do with the orcs, who were made up of several warring clans being united by one leader into the Horde, which invades the land of Azeroth as their land is dying. It seems the source of all their problems is the leader of the Horde's magic, which drains life out of anything, including the land itself. It seems he's the main villain and needs to be deposed, as there are several orcs willing to work with the human inhabitants of Azeroth towards peace. They believe that the Horde leader is evil and uses evil magic and must be deposed, but god damn it, nothing ever comes of it. Instead, it's just a series of battles for no reason. The Horde leader is pretty much unstoppable, and by the end they're more concerned with sending the orcs back than trying to make peace with them. And the Horde leader manages to pretty much force all the orcs to be loyal to him, even though that's the worst idea ever. I realize that a big part of this is the terrible power he holds, but considering that literally all of their problems are due to this one guy, you'd think somebody would poison his Kool-Aid or something. The human characters, shockingly, are less interesting than the CGI orcs. They range from obviously corrupted mages, dull and inspired kings, to the stock kindly queen, the young son wanting to be a soldier that is so doomed that the filmmakers might as well have had a little Grim Reaper following him around. The film contains no surprises. It leads us to an ending where almost nothing is resolved because the filmmakers smelled a franchise. To say that I didn't like the film is putting it mildly. The most interesting character is a female orc who held my interest with a few good lines, but then the movie shuffles over to less interesting characters constantly, and I couldn't care less. The biggest issue is toward the end, instead of embracing the simplicity of the plot, they continue to bring in new ideas, throwing more and more lore at you. Now, I never played any of the Warcraft games, and I'm sure that the people who have played them will understand this all a lot better than I have, but a film should stand on its own. It's okay to have nods to the source material, little references that only hardcore fans would get, but that shouldn't make up the bulk of the plot. It should be easily understandable to anybody. Sadly, the games have enough fans that will see the movie no matter what, no matter how bad it is, and this will undoubtedly make a lot of money. It already has, but the fact is, the road to good video game films is still mostly uncharted. Warcraft is dull and full of characters, but it has no character. I give it a 3 out of 10.